Okay, let's just jump right into this explainer. We are tracking a 4,000-year-old mystery today. It's a massive, fascinating convergence of ideas that actually connects an ancient biblical text directly to modern astrophysics and, get this, to the very foundations of electrical science. It's a wild journey. We're talking ancient musicians, exiled prophets, modern space satellites, and they are all pointing to one specific coordinate in the cosmos.
To ground this whole investigation, we're relying on the multidisciplinary research of Lady Janice Wright. She brilliantly combines rigorous science, history, linguistics, and those ancient texts to find what she calls the unfiltered truth. Her approach basically says, hey, instead of pitting the telescope against the ancient scroll, what if they actually complement each other? It turns out, the deeper we look into the universe, the more profound these ancient texts actually become.
All right, part 1. The cosmic axis of evil.
Let's start with the macro. We are zooming way, way out to a cosmic anomaly so incredibly massive that it literally broke the standard model of cosmology. 330 million light-years across. Just try to wrap your head around that. That is the diameter of the Boots void. It's a shockingly empty region of space up in the northern sky that astronomers literally call the Great Nothing. It's this massive, dark expanse where there absolutely should be galaxies, but instead, almost total emptiness. It is one of the largest known structures, or really lack of structures, in the entire observable universe.
But you know, the mystery of the northern sky doesn't just stop with a giant empty void. Back in 2005, scientists looking at data from NASA and the European Space Agency mapped out the cosmic microwave background, or CMB. If you're familiar, this is the oldest light in the universe, the remnant heat from creation itself. Now, according to standard physics, this light should be completely uniform, totally random, isotropic. It shouldn't lean in any specific direction at all. But, looking at the data, it totally does. It's not random at all.
What's truly staggering here is the sheer statistical improbability. The data showed that the temperature patterns of the whole universe actually align along a single preferred axis, and it points directly toward the northern hemisphere. Scientists dubbed this the axis of evil. Not for any, spooky theological reason, but because it is literally evil to their standard models. With 99.9% confidence, this proves the universe has a preferred direction, which, by the way, completely shatters the Copernican principle, the idea that the universe has no special center or direction.
Which leads us into part 2, the missing compass point.
Okay, so let's zoom in from deep space down to a very deliberate breadcrumb left behind thousands of years ago. In Psalm 75, written around 950 BCE, a chief temple musician in Jerusalem named Asaph is writing about the origins of divine deliverance. But he explicitly states it comes from neither the east, nor the west, nor the south. Notice anything missing? He deliberately leaves one point completely off the compass.
I really want you to sit with this and just let it breathe for a second. Why would a brilliant temple musician, someone who is intimately familiar with geography and theology, completely ignore a primary compass point? I mean, there are 4 points on a compass, right? But he only listed 3. This was absolutely not an accident or just a lapse in memory.
Well, the answer lies in the ancient Hebrew concept of the north, which is perfectly captured by the word tsaphon. Now, tsaphon means both north and hidden. In ancient Hebrew theology, you don't list the ultimate source in a list of non-sources. Think about it. If you want to say where the light in a room doesn't come from, you don't point at the sun. The north is omitted because, to these ancient writers, it is the hidden cosmic address of the Creator. Asaph used silence to encode the highest possible truth.
And that brings us to part 3, the ancient electric vision.
So this hidden northern coordinate actually connects to a terrifying ancient vision, and incredibly, to modern electrical science. Picture this. The year is 593 BCE. A 30-year-old exiled priest named Ezekiel is sitting by a river in Babylon when suddenly the sky splits open. He records seeing the ultimate throne vehicle, the Merkaba, arriving, and pay close attention to the direction here. He says it comes specifically out of a whirlwind from the north. God's cosmic chariot arrives from the exact direction Asaph left out, and literally the exact direction where modern astrophysicists found the axis of the universe.
But look closely at what Ezekiel actually sees inside this approaching northern storm. He describes a fire enfolding upon itself, and right in the dead center of it, there's something glowing. Now, English translators for thousands of years just vaguely called it the color of amber. But Ezekiel didn't say amber. He used a highly specific, super obscure Hebrew word to describe this glowing, energetic core.
And the crucial point here is that obscure Hebrew word, chashmal. It is a super rare word,
It appears only 3 times in the entire Bible, and all of them are right here in Ezekiel's vision. Etymologically, it suggests this crazy combination of absolute stillness mixed with explosive, crackling energy. Honestly, it was a word that nobody could truly define or understand, not until human technology finally caught up to the prophet's vision.
You have to follow this mind-blowing linguistic trail with me. When ancient scholars translated Ezekiel's Hebrew word chashmal into Greek, they used the word electron. Why? Because it meant amber, and amber produced static sparks. Then, jumping to the 1600s, scientists coined the Latin term electricus from that Greek word, which, of course, gave us the English word electricity. And then, full circle. In the 1920s, when modern Israel needed a word for their brand new power grid, what did they choose? They chose Ezekiel's original word, chashmal.
The realization of what this means is just profound. The ancient prophet who looked up into the northern sky and saw this celestial vehicle essentially named the very force that lights up our modern world. He described the crackling, glowing fire of electricity 2,600 years before Benjamin Franklin ever flew a kite in a thunderstorm. The word literally came full circle.
Furthermore, Ezekiel's geometric description of this electrical vehicle is astounding. He describes wheels within wheels that move in all directions without turning. Fast forward to today, and physicists studying quantum gravity and torsion fields note that counter-rotating electromagnetic fields produce the exact same structural signature, 3-dimensional tetrahedrons, that Ezekiel documented over 2.5 millennia ago. For researchers like Wright, he wasn't just writing cool poetry, he was describing the literal geometry of a highly advanced electrical system.
So let's bring it all together in Part 4, the ultimate convergence.
How do all these impossible clues build into one conclusion? Well, we have to look at how humanity responded to this northern coordinate. Earth's axis has a wobble, right? And that wobble creates a 26,000-year precession cycle where the North Star actually changes over time. Yet ancient structures all around the globe, like the Great Pyramid of Giza, were built with absolutely astonishing precision to point directly at this unchanging northern celestial pole. Independent ancient civilizations, people who never even spoke to each other, were all tracking this exact same divine clock up in the northern sky. When we pull all this data together, the convergence is just staggering. Look at this. We have the book of Job describing the northern void thousands of years before astronomers discovered the Buit's void. We have Ezekiel describing electrical fire from the north, centuries before electricity was ever harnessed. And we have NASA confirming the universe literally leans north, rejecting random chance at 99.9%. Multiple independent voices across 4,000 years, all pointing to the exact same cosmic address.
And this brings us right back full circle to the book of Job. He stretcheth out the north over the empty place, and hangeth the earth upon nothing. According to Wright's research, this heavily suggests that these ancient texts weren't just primitive myths or poetic metaphors. No, they were potentially precise cosmological maps describing reality long before we had the satellites to actually observe it.
So, I want to leave you with this final thought to ponder. We've just seen how Ezekiel's ancient word for the Creator's throne fire, chashmal, is literally the exact same force powering the screen you are watching this explainer on right now. If these ancient texts hold the secrets to the literal structure of the cosmos and the electricity running through our walls, what other incredible mysteries are just sitting there in the silence, hidden in the north, waiting for us to uncover?